second final in a week against the same opposition. You were beaten last week in the dying minutes by a very strong Sharlston side. You must have been pleased with the effort from your players.
Yeah, very good effort. I think each and every one of them give the best shot, and that's all you can ask for.
And judging by what you saw last week, have you had to change anything tactically or in your preparations or anything this week?
Not really, no. I think we're a bit late in the day. There's a few things we've worked on in training, but we'll see. We'll put them into practice today and see how they go.
The hitters from off, that first 10 minutes were probably the most physical 10 minutes we've had all season. They really got stuck into us. It put us off his game for the first 10 minutes.
Have you changed much in your way of preparations this week as a result of what you saw last week with Upton?
We'll be a bit more mentally focused. There were a few lads at half time who said, well, the hitters had there, didn't they? So you've got to get that first drive and get your head down and make 10 metres, quick play it ball. I think we've just got to be a bit more smarter than them.
So where do you see the main threat coming from the Sharlston side tonight?
1 to 17 probably. Very good team. I think as they've shown throughout the season. I think every one of them has got to be watched. His defensive effort has got to be exactly the same as last week. And then if we give it his best shot again, we'll see what happens. I think the strength of Upton is his teamwork. We ain't got the individuals probably that Sharlston have got, but we do work well as a team. When we defend well, we play well. So if we defend well tonight, same as we did last week, we'll be in there or thereabouts.
I think it's going to be tough again, but if we play to how we've prepared and we're smart enough, I think we might win a bit more comfortable if we're switched on.
And of course it's the last game tonight for your coaching staff in Gordy Long and Johnny Agar. It'd be nice for you to go out there tonight and win that trophy for them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, it were Gordy Long that brought me here. I was all set to sign for Stanley Rangers until he saw me in Blackpool and had a quick word in my ear. He's done a lot for me over 3 years, and I think I've improved a lot under him. And then these last 2 years under John has really took me to another level, and I've played best rugby in my career.
Right, John, we've just been talking to Captain Lee Bettison, and he was telling me it was obviously a tough game last week. Are you expecting a similar contest tonight, John?
I think so, Terry. Yeah, Upton come out and surprised us a bit last week. They were very physical, but we're probably maybe a bit complacent last week. Well, I think last week's game should have taken that out of us, and we should be ready to go tonight. The
Upton side are coached by a rugby league legend, really, in John Joyner, and he's obviously had a big impact on the club since he's joined them as coach.
Yeah, he was actually signed me on at Castleford, did John, and I know John quite well. Obviously, John knows game inside out. I think he's played more games than anybody else at the top level, and he's a former Great Britain international. And I think he's obviously he's sort of turned Upton round a bit, and they've had a very successful season.
And just turning back to the game, John, I understand you've got a couple of senior players returning to the squad who didn't make it last week.
We have, yeah. Lee Kelly's back in, which will be a big boost for us because he gives us a bit of leadership up front, and we have got a few injuries with a few blokes patched up, but obviously it's the last game of the season, so they've just put their hand up to play, and we're going to give it the best shot.
Well, thanks for that today. Some interesting interviews there prior to the game, but we're here for the grand final of this Presidents Cup here at College Grove in Wakefield, and the Sharlston team this evening is number 1 Ben Lewis, 2 James Byram, 3 Gareth Davis, 4 Lee Maskell, 5 Chris Hill, 6 Gordy Long, 7 Matty Bell, 8 Andy Booth, 9 Lee Bettison, 10 Lee Kelly Senior, 11 John Kirk, 12 James Lockwood, 13 Stan Smith, 14 Richard Acker, 15 Ben Grundy, 16 Lee Kelly Jr. and 17 Kevin Dickens, and the coaches John Agar and Gordy Long. The Upton side this evening, coached by John Joyner, is 1 Fraser Hinks, 2 Adam Inchcliffe, 3 Alan Thompson, 4 Steve Froggatt, 5 Todd Williamson, 6 Stephen Beale, 7 Ross Johnson, 8 Matty Rakes, 9 Carl Spencer, 10 Neil Mears Senior, 11 Ben Spencer, 12 Dave Dunwell, 13 Richard Jakes, 14 Chris Salisbury, 15 Aaron Smith, 16 Aaron Turley and 17 Neil Mears Jr. So Lee Bettison then, with the referee today, Kevin Tinsdale, and the 2 touch judges, Phil Boot and Alex Kenning. We'll get this underway very shortly. Sharlston in blue, playing from right to left, and it looks like Gordy Long will get the game underway. These 2 sides met last week in the Brian McDermott Plasterers Cup final. A very, very close affair, which Sharlston just edged. So Gordy Long then to get the game underway as the referee just checks his watch and says let's go for it, and away it goes, and it's a low kick, well gathered, and in is Matty Bell quickly to the tackle. Upton deciding to come back up this short side, but 5-6 players in from Sharlston in at the tackle. Very fierce opening couple of seconds there, and yeah, Lee Kelly just a little bit high, and the referee gives the first penalty of today. And it looks like there's no... Yeah, he's not going to stand any nonsense, this referee. He's just pulled him straight out and told him that he's not going to stand any more attacks to the face. So Upton come up the field. And it looks like Carl Spencer will be setting the first attack for Upton. And that's a strong drive from Neil Mears. And in at acting half-back is Carl Spencer once more. And already there's some fists flying, and there's less than 5 minutes gone. It was a fiery affair last week, and it looks as if it's going to be similar this week. Didn't quite see who was the instigator of it, but Lee Kelly's in there. It was Neil Mears that was trying to play the ball. And the referee goes to his pocket. Let's have a little look. Yes, Neil Mears was trying to get up, and Lee Kelly just threw a punch while he was on the floor, and others came in. It's not really what you'd like to see in a cup final. There's a lot of tempers flaring, and I think that could possibly be from a carry-on from last week. So the two number 10s have gone to the sin bin really early in the game, but that's from the referee. The referee has seen something early by Lee Kelly there, and then Lee Kelly again with Neil Mears. He stamped it out straight away, which is good from a referee's point of view. We might just be able to calm the game down. But it's Upton now in the opposition's 20. Spencer on to Ben Spencer. Two brothers. And attacking on this short side. Step back inside there by Richie Jakes. About 15 metres from the Sharlston line. Interference there from Lockwood, and a penalty, and rightly so. Lockwood not letting the man play the ball, so Spencer opting to tap. And a drive by Dunwell. Dunwell just to the left hand side of the post. Spencer once more. Strong run by Spencer. It's taken 3 Sharlston players to pull him down. A little dummy. Oh, it's exceedingly good try. Just a little dummy to the left. Sharlston were fast asleep. The alarm clocks hadn't gone off. Just a little dummy to the left. Step back to the right, and he found an ocean of space. Look at this. Steps to the left. Everybody goes. And to be fair, Andy Booth fast asleep to the right hand side of the ruck as we look, and the hooker took full advantage of some spaces in that Sharlston defence. So it's a dream start for Upton and coach John Joyner. He'll be really pleased about that. 6 points to 0 and barely 10 minutes played. Gordy Long then to restart. This time it's high. Well taken underneath. Watched the ball all the way. Really gathered it in well. So Upton will have gotten a right lot of confidence from that. And Sharlston already on the back foot. Good tackle from Lockwood. Really pushed his man back in the tackle. So attacking, Sharlston's right hand side. And the touch judge has seen something. Flag's gone up, and it's gone a little bit. It's getting really rough and fired up as Gordy Long there, not taking any prisoners. Bit of a Cumberland throw by Gordy, but the referee had already blown. The touch judge had come in. I think he'd seen something of a head-eye shot. Yes, there it goes. Looks like James Byram. So Upton then taking full advantage of the amount of possession that they've had. Sharlston have not had the ball in the hands yet. And Matty Rakes takes it forward and gets up and plays the ball pretty damn quickly. No way through there, with a quick dart out of acting half-back. There's some strong tackles coming in. Adam Thaler not playing today, so Stan Smith in at 13. And that's a strong tackle. And the ball's gone loose. Knock on. Sharlston head and feed. Oh, it's not. Raked out, says the match official. The ball was knocked out in the tackle, went in a forwards direction, so he's given Upton the head and feed. So still the ball has not been in Sharlston's hands. Gordy Long come right round the base of the scrum pretty quick there. There's always an element of whether or not the scrum half is offside, you know, whether he actually comes round before the ball comes out of the scrum. But the referee lets him get away with it. As Alan Thompson makes a dart and loses the ball. Gordy Long it is that picks it up. And the referee obviously has seen something else. It's another penalty to Upton. Gordy Long not getting back the 10. And Richie Jakes there just... Oh, and he's definitely lost the ball this time. So Sharlston under immense pressure. They've not had the ball in their hands for certainly the first 10 minutes. And now they get a penalty. The big prop, I think it was Matty Rakes this time, that failed to hold on to the ball as he charged up towards the Sharlston defensive line. Lost the ball and Sharlston come away with it. So it's a kick into touch. It's good yardage. So Bettinson then. Bettinson getting the presence of Lockwood into the game. And Bettinson just in at acting half-back, looking to scoot off as he know. He finds Booth. Booth turns and offloads to Bettinson. But the Upton defenders were round him pretty quickly and almost stole the ball. Stan Smith onto Gordy Long. Gordy Long moves it wide. And Johnny Kirk, I think it is, that comes in. Bettinson, usual scoots from acting half. Tries to find Smith and Lockwood on a twos, but it just didn't work. Lockwood was unable to hold the ball, and the referee just brings the two packs together for an Upton head and feed. Again trying to move down the Sharlston right, but Gareth Davis strong in the tackle against his opposite number, Alan Thompson. Spencer moves it out. It looks as if the player was just going to offload, but he didn't bother and just made a half break. But that's strong tackling. Andy Booth in with Bettinson, I think. Yeah, excellent work rate from Bettinson, the number 9. And Stephen Beale looking to show the ball and open that a space would open up in the Sharlston defence, but the ranks were good. And that's James Byram. And Ben Lewis. Ben Lewis has got some exceptional pace. Upton won't be wanting to let him break clear, because if he breaks clear, then there's some big yardage to be made, if not a try. Lockwood, oh, could he almost got the ball away to the supporting Sharlston player. Bettinson to Booth. Booth trundles it forward and gets just over halfway. As they go back short side, Gordy Long looks to kick the ball down into the bottom corner. Does not split the winger and the fullback this time. Fullback Fraser Hinks, he picks up nice and cleanly. Bettinson again with Lockwood in at the tackle. It's a little dart off from acting half-back. It's good yardage. So looking for fast plays to try and get the team into the kick position. That's what John Joyner will have worked on. When you're bringing it away from your own line, just try and get as quickly as you can to your kick position. And that's a nice kick. It's making Lewis work to gather the ball, and that's an excellent chase as well. Look, there's 5 Upton players all around him and done extremely well. Lewis, instead of bringing the ball in field, made an error, tried to take it around the 5 tacklers from Upton who were quick on the chase, and they made sure that he went into touch. So Upton in the ascendancy in the early stages of this game, leading at the moment by 6 points to 0. Picked it up, the loose forward from the base of the scrum using Thompson. Thompson's a big lad, but like Ben Lewis, made the mistake of going too close to the touchline, and the Sharlston defence was there, held the man up in the tackle and then drove him into touch. So a wasted opportunity there from Upton, I feel. Even though the short side move is sometimes on and can catch defences out, just went towards and angled towards the touchline, and perhaps instead of stepping back on the inside and still giving his team the chance to play the other 5 tackles out. Stan Smith just brings play for Sharlston up to the 20. Ben Lewis in, can he make amends for the going into touch and almost through? Bettinson in at acting half-back. Looks for Kelly, and dummies and uses Kelly as the foul. Bettinson breaks clear, and it's still a chance for Maskell, is it, to drop onto the ball? No, and I think that'll be play on. But Bettinson, a real great dart from acting half-back, used Lee Kelly Senior as the foil and almost got through and passed the ball to his left, and the support was Maskell, but just in between him was an Upton player, and it was enough to thwart the danger. So that's the first time that Sharlston have had the ball in their hands properly, and it's a major break, the first major break of the game from Bettinson. So Upton then trying to do the hard yardage stuff and get to the kick position, but the defence is strong. Davis and Smith almost managed to work the player into touch, and Lee Kelly Senior there, almost a flop. Well, I think it was a flop and should have been penalised. So the kick goes downfield, and it's a huge kick, and it's turned the wing around, it's split the fullback and the winger. Nice little step. But look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 Upton players up again. The touch judge is busy on that side, and he's on once more. And a little bit of a facial, or a little punch if you like, from the Upton player. So no quarter asked, no quarter given, and it's certainly a fiery contest so far as Lee Kelly drives forward. It takes the Upton players to bring him down as Bettinson passes on to Bull. Bull gets the advantage line at pace and makes valuable yardage. But Upton strong in the tackle. Lockwood trying to split the 2 defenders, charges hard and strong, and Bettinson just moves off, and Bell feeds long ball out to Gareth Davis. Gareth Davis almost gets round his man, and Long's in support once more, and that's a great little dart from Gordy Long. In the twilight of his career is Gordy Long, and a fiery character too. The touch judge comes on, and stamping, says the touch judge. Yes, he did as well. The number 1 came in, Fraser Hinks, lifted his leg and stamped onto Gordy, so no wonder Gordy was a little bit fired up there. So Lockwood charges forward. Really strong drive from Lockwood. Bettinson urging Lockwood to get up and play the ball. As the Upton man lays and sprawls all over him, Kelly darts forward within about 2 metres from the Upton line here at College Grove. Remember, Upton leads 6 points to 0, and that's a great inside ball. As Kirk comes onto it really fast and hard. Just couldn't quite get over the line. Some good defence from Upton, and even better defence there as they wrap Bettinson up. Bettinson dropped the ball in the tackle, and Upton were first onto it. And Adam Inchcliffe then just trying to get his team towards the 20-metre line as Thompson moves off from acting half-back. Big lad for a centre and causing Sharlston some problems down that right-hand side. The big lad moves up and throws Gordy Long off. And it's a kick downfield, and a little bit unsure, but Lewis takes the ball. What can Lewis do here? Lewis tries to use his pace and step to beat the Upton defence, but they can't, and the kick chase so far from Upton has been absolutely superb. John Joyner must have been working on this. As Bettinson moves off and drops the ball inside to Lockwood, but it's strong defence from Upton. Andy Booth drives forward and turns and looks to maybe offload to Bettinson, but the Upton players get their arms around it and clasp the ball in. Bell looks to kick downfield. It's into the sky and puts pressure under the Upton player, and he drops it, just Fraser Hinks. That was a really high kick from Bell and an exceptional chase from Sharlston, and he's given a knock on, but it could so well have been a penalty because the Upton player was in an offside position when he actually took that ball, but the referee, in his will and his wisdom, has given a knock on. Small stoppage in play then as Spencer goes to the touchline. So it's the first time really that Sharlston have been able to start a set of 6 in the opposition's 20. What can happen here as Smith moves off, steps, uses his pace. Stan Smith gets to within 10 metres of the line, and it's Ben Lewis in at acting halfback. Ben Lewis to Gordy Long. Gordy Long shows the ball to Lee Kelly, but he's pulled down with under a melee of Upton defenders. Bettinson looks to Smith. Smith once more tries to force his way over, gets to within about a metre of the Upton line, and it's a long ball out there to Kelly, trying to catch the players around the ruck swarming in, and Kelly just on the edge but couldn't hold the pass from Bettinson. So Sharlston have had the chances, but as of now have not been able to complete and score the try. Moves forward, Richie Jakes there just picks it up, just makes valuable yardage and getting his team, as I say, towards the kick position. Hinks unceremoniously dumped to the ground by Kelly and Maskell. So it's quick plays from Upton. That looks the order of the day. A lot of scoots from acting half-back just to try and get the team into kick position. That's another one. And Spencer it is that gets the team up to the 40. So let's just see how good the chase is from this kick here. The kick comes through, and you can see the chasers starting to move as Chris Hill picks the ball up. Chris Hill looks to round his opposite number, can't do so. And Lewis, a nice step. And a combination of Froggatt and Williamson, the centre and wing pair of Upton, doing some good work in defence there. And they've earned their side the head and feed at this scrum. Ross Johnson it is to put in. So Upton then, once more inside the Sharlston 20. Looking to come right. Neil Mears Jr. takes a forage into the heart of the Sharlston defence. Neil Mears Sr. he's in there as well. So Upton then through the scrum half. Johnson, but that's a good tackle from Lewis. And a kick by the half-back Beale, straight into the arms of Gordy Long. Says thank you very much. And Sharlston breathe again as Bettinson in at acting half-back. Kelly, a hard and strong drive. Johnny Agar was saying before the game that Lee Kelly gives them some good go forward, and he certainly hasn't held back in this game as Lockwood almost breaks through, and Matty Bell was on his outside there. If Lockwood breaks, Bell was well in support as Bettinson darts off and makes absolutely fantastic yardage. Bettinson saying that he's played the best rugby of his career under Long and under Agar, and he certainly is an inspiration to his side when he makes runs like that, as Bell tackles the full-back. And it's a quick play the ball. And again, another scoop. What we're going to see here, yes, another one, as Bettinson tries to tackle the player. Is it Thompson? I think it is, the big centre. And that's another real big hit up and a strong hit up. So Upton are getting to the kick position on every set of 6. They get into around the halfway line for the kicker Beale to put the kick into the corner. It's Johnson this time though. Johnson puts the ball high into the air. Lewis drops it, but it goes backwards. And it's Byram to pick it up. But look at the chase again, and he's dropped the ball in the tackle. Has he? Or was it raked out? Let's have a look, see what the decision is from the referee. But the kick chase was absolutely superb. 3 men in the tackle, and Byram has not lost the ball, but the referee says it was taken from him with more than one man in the tackle, so a penalty's been given. So things seem to have settled down a little bit since the first try within the first 5 minutes for Upton, which obviously has given them a big deal of confidence. But Sharlston is slowly but surely getting themselves back into this game with breaks from Bettinson and from Lockwood. And that's Matty Bell using Kirk as the foil. And almost breaking through as Lewis picks up, steps and decides to come back the other way. But the Upton defence not having none of that. As Maskell's in at acting half-back. Maskell scoots off, got some pace as Maskell. Maskell gets by the first tackler. We're on the 5th and last tackle here. Will Sharlston run it, or will Gordy Long orchestrate something from a kick? As he takes the ball through, looking for his players on the outside. Davies steps back inside. Long it is again in support. Kirk, and it's Smith. Smith throws a long ball to Maskell. Maskell throws a dummy. Oh, and gets it to Lewis, but Lewis... Is it play on? Is it still play on? He's just short of the line anyway. Chris Hill. It is play on. I felt that that Ben Lewis had knocked on. And the referee, what's he looking at here? The referee has pointed to the spot once. He must have been saying that he hasn't got the ball down, has he? No, it looks to me as if Lee Maskell scored the try, so a dummy from acting half-back goes really low and underneath the player and then gets the ball down. Look at the referee as he comes round here. He points to the ground, doesn't look to his two-touch judges. So Maskell, a try scorer for Sharlston, and can Chris Hill put the scores level? He's missed the conversion, so 6 points to 4 in the favour of Upton. But Maskell extremely strong there, little dummy, then went really low and lifted the player up and managed to get over the line and put the ball down. But that's the usual case in the game of Rugby Football League. I don't know what it is, if it's a lack of concentration or you just relax too much when you've scored a try, but obviously not switched on there. And the ball from the kick-off bounces dead, and Sharlston have to kick out from under their own sticks as Gordy Long puts the ball to Froggatt. Froggatt, another big strong centre. Some big lads in this Upton side. Beale to Mears. Junior, tackled by Maskell and Kelly. And this is Mears Senior. Kelly once more in at the tackle. There were the two players, oh dear me, they were the two players that were involved in the sin binning early on. Kelly just lost the plot there for a second, kicked out, and the referee had no hesitation whatsoever, went straight into the back pocket, and for a kick out in the tackle, Lee Kelly has been sent to the dressing rooms. Let's just have a look at that. Yes, obviously the player on the floor, back to him. Can't really understand why Lee Kelly would want to do that. He'd won the floor wrestle. He'd got to his feet. The other man was still down. He'd done the damage and lashed out with his boots. So Sharlston down to 12 men, and we're still inside the first half. So often has Lee Kelly been sent from the field of play, and he is an inspiration to his team when he's on it. He takes them forward, and he always gives them the good goal forward that the team need to play from. But in this instance, Lee Kelly once more has left his side with 12 men on the field, and Upton take an 8-4 advantage from that penalty conversion as Gordy Long gets his team to charge down the bottom of this field at College Grove. That's a great drive from the Upton forward, and they'll take heart from that dismissal, knowing that they're playing against 12 men. Sometimes the rest of the troops rally round when a player gets sent off, and it can actually have an advantage for the side. Upton player from that tackle. Looks as if there's an injury to an ankle, and a very painful one at that. And the stretcher comes on, and it's not a very nice sight to see in any sport when you see the stretcher coming on. Let's just hope that the young lad recovers quickly. Looks like a leg injury to me. It could well be a twisted ankle. Let's hope that it is and not a break. So Upton then only get as far as Kirk is really strong in the tackle. Upton always making it from deep inside their own half to the halfway line, always getting, as I say, to the kick position, which is what coach John Joyner will be expecting, and doing it as well through a lot of scoops from acting half-back. Although in this instance Upton are starting to move wide, but look there, as the player opts to kick, there's quite a lot of chasers, and it was one of the Upton players that was going to be first to the ball, but the bounce of the ball just beat him and went into touch as Long goes to scrum half, and Lewis tries to get through. He can't manage it, and Long in acting half-back moves off. And player ragging at him there and trying to pull him to the ground, but Gordy Long not having none of it. Bettinson in acting half-back, and he scoots off and uses the charge of Lee Kelly Jr. And Kirk again into the heart of it, trying to free the ball. And taking some putting down is Kirk. Bettinson darts off and sees the Upton defence turning their backs as Maskell gets it away to Lewis. Lewis has got some pace, steps back inside. What a try from Lewis. So from a quick play the ball, Bettinson shoots off. Some of the Upton players had the back to him. The ball quickly sped out to the left and found the pace of Lewis linking outside Maskell. Step back inside the defence. What a great try. Look at Bettinson as some of the Upton players had the backs. A great ball from Bell. Maskell onto Lewis. Lewis with exceptional pace decides to come back on the inside, and Hinks, the fullback, just couldn't manage to pull Lewis onto his back, and there he celebrates to the sky and saying, "That's me, I've scored." And that brings the game all level with Chris Hill's conversion to come, and that's an excellent conversion from Chris Hill. So for the first time in the game, Sharlston hit the lead 10 points to 8. Well, as much as of Upton have been absolutely superb in getting to the kick position, they were absolutely dreadful there, as 2 to 3 players had the backs to the player from acting half-back, and Bettinson made the best of it as he passed on to Maskell, and Lewis did the rest. But look how tigerish this Upton team are. They've actually stole the ball from Sharlston now, and it's Froggatt deep inside the 20-metre area of Sharlston. Can they hit back quickly as Mears Jr. has Kirk and Lockwood in at the tackle? And that's a great drive from Upton, but equally good defence from the 12 men of Sharlston. Long ball out, Johnson to Beale. Beale a step, gets the ball out of the back door. Gordy Long quick to jump on it though. The experience of Gordy Long, he could see that Beale was looking to offload, and just as he did so, Long was round quicker than any Upton player and rescued the situation for Sharlston. And they get a penalty, and it's going to be Long will kick into touch and gain some valuable yardage. And it's Long again who's giving his forwards a break and coming charging onto it, taking the game to Upton. Lockwood steps, but there's 4 Upton players round him, tries to get the ball away. Not a knock on. And play on is the correct decision, I feel, although what's the referee said? And the touch judge is on at this side, so the match officials coming together just to find out exactly what the situation is. Lockwood did try to offload and it hit the Upton player, so as far as I'm concerned, unless the touch judge has seen something that I didn't, then it should be play on. Let's have a look, see what the decision is. Well, it looks to me as if the touch judge has said that the Upton player knocked on. I can't see what the decision was there. Well, this is what makes rugby league really frustrating for me. The referee is allowing the scrum half to come round. He's in an offside position as far as I'm concerned. I said that about Gordy Long in the first half. So as Gordy Long was preparing to pass the ball, Johnson it was, I think, that came round and knocked his arms away. So therefore the referee deemed it was a knock-on. But I certainly feel that the scrum half can't come round. He can't be past the tunnel area until the ball comes out, because if he does, he's in an offside position. But the referee sees it another way, and so Upton have got a chance with this penalty to level things. It's not there, and that's a great take by Byram. And as Byram brings it out, the referee calls a halt to the first half proceedings. 10 points to 8 in Sharlston favour. I think it was all Upton in the first 10-15 minutes. They scored a marvellous try, they were well on top. Sharlston started to get themselves back in the game. And then unfortunately Lee Kelly gets sent from the field of play. But a fantastic try from first Maskell and then from Lewis enables Sharlston to go in 10-8 as the game gets underway for the second half. And it's Lockwood tearing forward. Brings the game centre field just outside his 20 as Lewis is in at acting half-back. Lewis darts off, skips, steps. Good yardage. Bettinson looking to feed Smith. Smith met by 3 Upton defenders. Bettinson looking to feed Long. Long kicks early in the tackle count. Puts the ball downfield, and that's a cracking kick from Gordy Long. Judged to perfection. And that's a great chase from Sharlston, but really poor defence. And that's a trip, is it, from Gordy Long? I felt it was. I felt Gordy had been stepped. And he stuck his legs out. And quite lucky, in a small way, Gordy to be still on the field, because a trip can be an instant sending off. But gets away with it as Upton bring themselves through Beale. Beale to Thompson, gets away from Maskell. He's taking some looking after as this centre, Thompson. And I feel that this game is every bit as fiery as the previous week's game, as Spencer shoots off from acting half-back as Lockwood brings him to the ground. Beale it is. Beale kicks the ball high into the sky and the chasers are there. But Chris Hill underneath it. Strong, safe and secure from Chris Hill there. As Lewis moves off. Can Lewis get clear? He can't. It's Mears Jr. that brings him down. And that's Stan Smith. Stan Smith's away. What can Stan Smith do? Comes back into the defenders. Great break from Smith. Brings his team just onto halfway line as Bell gets it to Kirk. And Sharlston down to 12 men, but they look now to be taking control of this game as Booth steps forward and takes it to just outside the 20-metre line as Bettinson's in at acting half-back. Bettinson looking to dart off, a little kick through. Oh, and that's caused an unforced error from Hinks. So the Sharlston players will take heart and will take advantage of that. And it will deflate the Upton players a little bit, having to sustain all the tackles as Long evades the first tackle and gets it to Davis. Davis been a little bit quiet in this game. Well looked after though by Froggett. As Byram comes in off the wing and gets the ball away superbly in the tackle, but didn't go to hand, it went on the floor, and it was Kirk who was under a little bit of pressure that couldn't gather the ball cleanly. And so Upton will get a bit of respite as Johnson puts the ball in and Jakes brings the ball away from the loose forward position. Thompson, that's another dart from acting half-back. The referee's obviously seen something here. Another punch in the tackle. So it's Thompson just receiving a little bit of treatment as Beale prepares to put the ball into touch. And that's a good kick from Beale. Spencer urging his team forward. Mears a good strong drive and he's taking some pulling down and beats the first defender in Kirk. Spencer inside to, I think it's Mears again. Beale looking for runners on the outside as Hinks links in. And then it's Froggatt. Froggatt loses the ball. That's a good strong tackle from Gordy Long. So Froggatt it was that ran straight into Gordy Long. Didn't take a backward step there. Gordy went hard and strong into the tackle and forced the ball to come loose. Ben Lewis to bring the play forward for Sharlston. Matty Bell in it, acting half-back. Chris Hill comes off the wing to give his forwards a bit of a spell. Bettinson looking to dart off. He's been a danger all game as Lee Bettinson. Just having a little scan as he goes into acting half-back to see if there's any weaknesses in the Upton defence. And Smith stops and comes back and tries to go down the opposite side of the ruck, but Upton strong in and around that area, not allowing him to, as Bell prepares for the kick. The kick goes high and it goes deep. And it's a cracking kick from Bell. So two really good kicks from the Sharlston halfbacks have put Upton back deep inside their own territory. This time the chase is better and the tackling is better. But that's the first scoop from acting halfback. And that's the second one. So it looks as if John Joyner has said whatever happens when we're deep in his own 20 we must get to the kick position as quickly as possible, and that's the third scoop from Spencer. Moves forward Jakes, makes it the fourth one, but he doesn't gain much yardage. So the kick has to come this time from Beale. Not the ideal kick position, and the ball's gone into touch. Rushed his kick there, Beale, because the chase was good from Sharlston. And the referee's just checking with the touch judge just to make sure that there wasn't a Sharlston hand on it. But it looks as if there was, and he made a play for the ball. So it's Johnson to feed the scrum, and Johnson to take it out, gives it to Beale. Beale looking to try and bring the play wide through Hinks. Linking in from full back. And lost the ball in the tackle, has he? No, the referee says that it's been dragged out. I felt quite seriously that the three men in the tackle were quite strong, and in pushing the full back to the floor he lost possession, but the referee sees it another way, and it's given an opportunity for Beale to try and bring the scores level. At the moment Sharlston 10, Upton 8, just a short step, and it's quite clean and it's sweet, it's gone straight through the H's. So Sharlston and Upton all square, 10 points each. Remember, Sharlston down to 12 men, and obviously must be finding it a little bit more difficult in defence, having to work a lot harder, being that one man down. So nothing between the two sides at the moment. I think the game's had passages of play where Sharlston have been strong and where Upton have been strong, but it's which team can be the strongest towards the end of this game now, as the scores are level at 10 points each. Which team will have the resolve, and which person will have the desire to unlock the defence to perhaps score the winning try. It's encouraging defence from Sharlston as Upton move into this scoop mode, or dash from acting half-back mode if you like, just to try and get to the kick position. This time it's another one, so that's the third one. We're over halfway now, so you'll see play start to spread wide. And he looked as if he was going to offload. He's on the fifth and last tackle, as Spencer looks to move it to the right, and Beale puts the high kick in as Chris Hill moves in to take it. He doesn't take it, but Lewis is there to sweep up for him, and in doing so can't gather the ball cleanly. So Chris Hill was under immense pressure there as the Upton chasers came charging through, couldn't cleanly catch the ball. Ben Lewis couldn't sweep up in a clean way, and therefore Upton get the head and feed at this scrum and are now putting pressure on 12 men Sharlston. So Johnson will put the ball in, he'll feed Beale, which he has done, and Hinks is looking to run out wide, but Beale, with a bit of a poor pass from the scrum, couldn't take it cleanly and feed it out wide. And this is Tully. A big set of lads, these Upton guys, and they'll take some putting down as Spencer's in at acting half-back and looking on the charge, and that's a great try, is it? This time the referee's looking to the two-touch judges to see if there's anything amiss with that try, but it looks as if he's pointed to the spot, and Upton have took advantage of Sharlston not being able to catch the kick. And look at the charge here from Dave Dunwell. Dave Dunwell breaks the tackle and dives over the line to the right hand side of the sticks, and if the conversion is successful, which it is, that means Upton now are 16 points to 10 in front. Sharlston down to 12 men have got it all to do, but that was absolutely superb from the Upton team. The kick from Beale, the chase put Hill under pressure, dropped it, and so did Lewis, which meant that the scrum went down. And from the second play, when Beale went forward, the little looker Spencer just fed Dunwell on the charge, and he dived over for a great try, and wasn't he thrilled with it as well. So Sharlston 6 points adrift as Bettinson goes in and makes a good, clean, hard tackle. And this is the darts from acting half-back. The tackling from Sharlston is poor. That's another scoop. So that's tackle number 3. Sharlston having to get a little bit more urgency in now as Spencer darts off and looks for Mears, and Mears pushes Bell out of the way, but Kirk and Bell combined this time. And that's the 5th tackle, and they're over the halfway line. So perhaps looking for Beale now to put the ball into the corner, and he's got a lot of success from kicking high. The referee said that the players were in front of the man, but not Beale. He followed his kick up and put Ben Lewis to the ground as Davis darts away from acting halfback. So Sharlston need to do something, and do something quickly, as Lewis charges towards the halfway line. It's been an exciting and enthralling game here as Bettinson darts off, and I think this time, yeah, it's looking at the touch judge, he's ripped it out in the tackle, didn't want that, They'd tackled well there, Upton. So now they're going to have to face 6 more. Sharlston tackles from about the 20-metre area. Sharlston do really need to score here. 16 points to 10 as Lockwood drives forward. Lockwood gets the ball away in the tackle, looks to Bettinson, then it's on to Long steps, looks to see if there's a hole and there isn't one. And it's Lee Kelly Jr, centre field, 10 metres out, Gordy Long orchestrating things, darts off, little shimmy from Long, and it's a try. Gordy Long, the experience of the man, just a great little dummy, dropped his shoulder to the left, and like Spencer did in the first half, the Sharlston defence were bamboozled by Spencer, and the Upton defence is bamboozled by Gordy Long, who does a little shimmy and a little drop of the shoulder to the left and goes over to the right hand side of the sticks, kisses the ball and says thank you very much. So the assistant coach, Gordy Long, brings his side back level if Hill can convert, and he can. 16-16 here at College Grove. What an absolutely superb Presidents Grand Final this is. 2 local sides in Upton and Sharlston. Long picks it up and gives it to Lockwood. It's a little bit high. The referee saying that Dunwell just caught Lockwood by the shoulder. Byram in trying to get some valuable yardage as Lewis gets in there. Lewis picks up, darts off, and that's a great hit by Mears. Lockwood again steps and gets round Spencer, but look, there's some tigerish tackling from the Upton ranks. Certainly John Joyner has got the Upton side fired up. Bell looking to move it long. Gordy Long breaks clear of the tackle and gives it to Davis. Davis has got space and he's got pace. What can he do here? Gets the ball away, and that's Lee Kelly. That's a great run from Lee Kelly, but there's something going off in back play here, and that man Gordy Long involved once more. But Lee Kelly wasn't involved in it. He was charging up the middle of the field, enjoying himself as well. And the referee and the touch judge just conferring, just to see what the outcome is. Didn't see what went on in back play, but the referee getting both his touch judges together now just to find out what the situation is. So Mr. Boot and Mr. Kenning and Mr. Tinsdale have got their heads together, and it looks as if there's a penalty in favour of Sharlston. So the experience of Gordy Long is paying dividends for Sharlston at the moment. So Bettinson will be looking to bring his side up into the Upton 20-metre area through Lockwood, and that's a great drive through Lockwood. Lockwood, absolutely outstanding back row forward for Sharlston this year as Maskell moves off. Maskell hit by Dunwell and driven back as well. So as much as Sharlston are ferocious in attack, Upton are ferocious in defence. And this is Lee Kelly Jr. And Bettinson urging him to play the ball quickly as he goes back left and looks to Kirk. It's a nice little neat kick through from Kirk. And Upton under pressure and had no alternative than to opt for safety first. So it's a kick out from under their own post, and Sharlston enjoying a spell where they're actually on top. And remember, down to 12 men as well. So it's a marvellous performance from Sharlston at present, but these two sides are contributing to an absolutely superb final. And that's a great kick from Beale, lands over the halfway line. That's brilliant yardage from that kick as Lewis picks up and doesn't get back over the halfway line as the chase is good. That's been a highlight of the Upton game plan this evening. The kick chase has been absolutely outstanding as Byron breaks clear. It's Byron who's got the full-back to beat. Can he get through? But he can't as Froggatt gets back to just nail the wingman as he stepped inside the full-back and he looked as if he was going to score. Gordy Long looking to pass wide as Maskell drops the shoulder on the inside. But that's credit to Byron. Byron set the paving stones there as he went forward and just got caught midway inside the 20. And look at this ball from Bettinson. Betting looks for Long. Long gives a great pass. Oh, and look at that. That's an absolutely superb dummy on the inside. And it was the centre Thompson, who's had an absolutely outstanding game, that stood and looked and waited for the runner. But Maskell stuck the ball under his jumper and joyously went over in the corner to put Sharlston ahead. 20 points to 16 with the kick to come. But credit Byron, as I was saying earlier, he broke clear and he set the paving stones for that thwart to the left hand side there. The kick is unsuccessful. 20 points to 16 in favour of Sharlston. What an absolutely superb cup final this is. So Upton then get the game underway. Long takes it well. Lockwood brings the ball back, charges. He only knows one way forward, does Lockie. And Lewis has done a tremendous amount of work from the acting half-back area, trying to get his side forward and quickly. And Bettinson tries to get the best of his opposite number, Spencer, and can't do so. Maskell looks to Bell to put the ball deep inside the Upton half, and he has done. It's just a couple of metres short of the line as Hinks is tackled by those Sharlston tacklers, Maskell and Grundy. And that's shot Gordy Long into the tackle, locks the ball up as well. And Kelly Jr. So that try from Maskell has just inspired the 12 men of Sharlston to lift their game to another level, and they have done. And they're limiting Upton to the amount of yardage that they can get, but Spencer darts off. Great run from Spencer, but he manages to get to the halfway. And Mears almost drops the ball, but they're just hanging back the Sharlston defence. So Mears had a clear run there for 10 metres. Spencer looking to Beale. Beale puts the ball up again, but that's Chris Hill under it, takes it and gets over the try line. The ball is on the floor, so the referee says it's play on. Lewis with his pace darts out, jumps out from acting half-back. So it's the turn of Sharlston to complete their set here and get to the kick position. And it's the duty of the Upton defenders to limit the yardage that they can make. And I think, if I'm being right, I think Upton have forced the error. And the referee has given Upton the head and feet at the scrum, so tigerish tackling from the Upton side has forced the error. What can Upton do here? As Jakes takes it from the base of the scrum, but Bell is alert to it and makes the tackle. Bettinson in. Spencer, can he weave some magic here as he just dummies, and that's a strong run again, but this time Bell and Maskell in strong at the tackle. Spencer darting, almost trying to find a way through. And the referee said that Sharlston were offside, so Spencer quickly taps the ball and tries to catch Sharlston asleep. And Dunwell goes in at acting half-back. But he's strongly met and tackled. He's got to play his ball, says the referee. Spencer looks to Beale. Beale takes it on the bounce. Little dummy. But there's nothing for him at the minute, so 3 tackles left to try and bring this game all square. The Upton man just can't get over. That's great tackling from Kelly and from Booth. Spencer looking to dart off again. This is not where you need to work from the acting half-back area. This is where you need to try and get the ball wide and create something on the outside of the defence. This time it's Beale looking forward, and it's Johnson, the little fella, trying to get in. But what a superb tackle from Lewis. He grabbed the man and the ball, and that was a definite try-saving tackle as Byram works it in. And Lewis hits Lockwood to bring the ball up to the 20-metre line. Lewis this time. Can Lewis get away? He's a dangerous broken play runner is Lewis. As Bettinson looks to offload and finds Davis. Can Davis get away from his man? And he can. And he's looking, is Davis to get away once more. Gareth Davis is quite strong and he's pacey. And Davis is going to go all the way to score, is he? Oh, it's a superb try from Davis, is it? An element of double movement, that's credit to the Upton players, but what an absolutely superb run from Gareth Davis. And let's look here, as the player just ankle taps him, the other player comes across, the ball hits the floor and he gets up. And because the ball and the elbows of the arm carrying the ball touch the floor, Gareth Davis' try has been ruled out by the referee, and that's an unfortunate thing, because in the process of trying to score that try, Gareth Davis is injured. But the try won't stand, the penalty's given. I think if Davis had have scored there, I think that would have been the ball game to Sharlston. But credit Upton, they chased the speed merchant all the way back, and some absolutely superb defence stopped Davis in the throes of scoring the try. So not only are they down to 12 men Sharlston, but they've lost inspirational centre Davis, who can score from anywhere on the field of play. And this is Dunwell just short of the halfway line. Spencer in at acting half-back. Upton have given their all in this game, as Thompson picks up from acting half-back and he's strong, gets rid of the first defender, but can't get rid of Maskell and can't get rid of Kirk. And Beale looking to put the high ball up once more. And Gordy Long, look at that. Great play by the experienced campaigner, the ex-professionalism in Gordy Long coming out there. Pick the ball up. And just ease this side into a comfortable safety zone as Ben Grundy comes away from acting half-back. Runs across the field. And this is Kirk with a great drive forward. Bettinson trying to get out of acting half-back and can't do so, and he's lost it one-on-one. That's great work from Dunwell. He's had an outstanding game as David Dunwell for Upton. Inside the Sharlston area of the field. This is Dunwell again. He's not been shy, and he certainly hasn't been hiding. He's been in everything. And here he is at acting half-back, and again he darts off from the acting half-back position. So that's 3 occasions in this set of 6 that Dunwell's been involved. Spencer looking to his brother to try and create something. Johnson's in at acting half-back. The little scrum half gets the ball to Spencer, but it's a poor pass. And it's a knock-on. And in situations like that, you know, Upton needed to keep possession and needed to put pressure on the Sharlston line, but that's an extremely poor pass from the scrum half. But Sharlston won't be worried, and they won't be rushing to get this scrum put down, as Long puts the ball in and gets it to Grundy. And Grundy runs into Thompson, and Thompson takes care of him. Ben Lewis looking to go down the short side. Hits the floor this time. Maskell looking to the short side, hoping to try and catch the Upton defenders asleep. Chris Hill throws it long. Kirk gets the Sharlston team just up to halfway as Bettinson picks it up, scoots off and just falls to the ground, and nothing malicious in that. I think just as Bettinson was falling over, he just caught the boot of Dunwell, gets up, a bit groggy to his feet. Smith in at acting half-back. And Smith picks up, and that's a kick from Smith, and it's high one, but Hinks is under it this time. And Ben Lewis, his opposite number, good leg tackle, brings the player crashing to the ground. And 20 points to 16 in favour of 12-man Sharlston. They've done absolutely superb since the dismissal of Lee Kelly Senior. He played some extremely good football. And as I say, Upton have contributed. A team full of enthusiasm. And Ben Lewis is having to go back quickly, and with the charge of Thompson, decides that the safest option is to put the ball into dead, which means that Sharlston will kick out from under their own sticks. Good decision really from Lewis, because Thompson, being a big lad and a strong lad, could have taken the ball off him, and he didn't want that. As Gordy Long prepares to kick out from underneath the sticks. That's a good kick from Gordon Long. Gets it just over halfway line. And Mears charges at Kirk and at Bell, but there's no way through that combination. It's Lockwood and Bettinson in this time. So Spencer from acting halfback, organising something. Dunwell gets up, plays the ball quickly. Spencer darts off. So they're inside the Sharlston 20 and looking to come back to the short side as Beale with a drop off from Mears. So we're on the last tackle. Can Upton manage to get over in the corner? Beale, little chip over the top, but this time it's Christopher Hill who says, I'm not having anything of that. We'll opt for security first and safety, and we'll make sure that the ball goes dead. But it's a repeat set once more for Upton, and they must be thinking that they can salvage something out of this game. There can't be a great deal of time left as Gordy Long for once more kicks the ball, and it's Mears once again as this winds up and gets into the face of Kirk and Bell, but he's having to go back as Spencer in it acting half-back. Spencer darts off again, but this time Smith just grabs hold of his shorts and pulls him down. It's Beale to Johnson. Johnson looking for a drop-off to Dunwell, but the little move wasn't executed well enough. And it was Ben Lewis on hand to pick up. And this is Kirk. Bettinson darts off from acting half-back and looks for Lockwood. Lockwood changes direction. Matty Bell. Yes, I think the referee, I just thought to myself then when Lockwood was getting up that there was a little knock on which happened there, so Upton probably the last throw of the dice here. And they've got 6 tackles from inside the Sharlston half to try and salvage something from this game. They're just losing 20 points to 16 as the kick goes through, and it's Byron chasing it, and it's Smith that drops it, does he? Yes, he knocks on. I think there'll be a scrum down. There'll be a scrum down, and the Upton team are getting the pack together quickly so that the watch is stopped. They know that there's some urgency needed here. Must be into the last and remaining minutes of this game. So what can they do here? As Tully comes away from the base of the scrum and almost manages to get over it. Spencer from acting half-back. Spencer gives it to Thompson, the big centre. Can Thompson do anything here? He can't, he's well tackled by Lewis, and the ball goes out to the right hand side. It's Mears. Mears is held up and the ball is clamped. Spencer really telling his troops that it's all on here. And it's just a little bit one-man rugby. Will we see some crossfield movement here? And it's Beale. Beale looks forward and gives it to Johnson. And Gordy Long makes the tackle. But it's high. 2 points is not good enough. And they know that time is against them. So they're going to have to take the tap. And it's Dunwell. Dunwell picks it up. And can he get forward? He can't. Bettinson's there. Spencer in acting half-back once more. Beale looking to bring the play through. Johnson wide. Oh, he can't get over. But it's been really exciting as Ben Spencer tries to get away from acting half-back. It's Spencer to Beale. Beale comes back again. There's nothing for him. Spencer darts off to Mears. Mears trying to crash over. Spencer then to Beale once more. Tries a long ball. But Bettinson just stands his ground. I feel that there was a forward pass. Gordy Long took a bit of a knock as well to the face there. So I believe it's the handover, and it could well be the last throw of the dice for Upton. I think the order of the day will be ball security. Sharlston will just complete this set of 6 and put the kick in. And that's exactly what's happening. Lockwood just coming away from acting half-back. No fancy footwork or no fancy ball playing deep inside their own half. We're on tackle number 3 as Bettinson looks to Stan Smith. Stan Smith rides the tackle of Dunwell, who was up quick. Obviously he senses that the time is against them. Bettinson looks to put the kick downfield, but Hinks picks it up. So it may be one last chance for Upton. As the wingman, Hinchcliffe darts off from acting half-back. And Thompson does the same and gets rid of Hill. And Bell. Oh dear me, that's an uncharacteristic mistake from Spencer, and he knows it. Puts his head in his hands. The referee looks at his watch. It must only be minutes, if that, to go as Gordy Long puts the ball in. and keeps hold of it this time. Gordy Long surrounded by Upton players. Lewis in from Acting half-back, steps and makes some great yardage and gets up. Stan Smith doing the same thing. It's just a matter of ball security, and that's it. The final whistle goes and Sharlston Rovers, down to 12 men during the course of the first half, have been victors this evening against Upton in the Presidents Grand Final. But what a game it is, 20 points to 16 at 10 points each. You wouldn't know who was going to win. Both sides were in the mix. It was who had the resolve, and Byron made the break, and the killer punch was when Gordy Long threw the ball really wide to his left and found Maskell, who dropped his shoulder to the inside, stood Thompson up and then went herring through the gap, and that was the killer blow. And Sharlston victorious, as the referees and the match officials, should I say, come to get their awards, and they've controlled the game. It was really fiery. No quarter asked and no quarter given, as I said. But Upton, under coach John Joyner, have been absolutely tremendous. Had a great game plan in the way that they got the team to the halfway line and put the kicks in. Good chase, were really strong, but just lacked those few ideas close to the line just to unlock the Sharlston defence. Whereas with the likes of Gordy Long and Bettinson and Bell, they just had the key to unlock the Upton defence, and on a couple of occasions managed to do just that, and so became victors in this evening's final. It's really difficult, and it's a hard, bitter pill to swallow when you've lost in a final. But when you've given your all and you've contributed to a great game in the way that Upton have, then you can hold your heads up high. As Gordy Long comes through to receive his winner's medal, and the rest of the team follow. It's a great night for the Sharlston club. They've had a tremendous season, losing out on the last game of the season to Driglington in the league. But tonight, and finals, when you win finals, tends to make up for that unhappiness. So Bettinson, the captain, then comes up and he'll lift the trophy. And we get a big cheer from the Sharlston faithful, and there it goes. Lee Bettinson had an absolutely outstanding game from acting half-back. He tore the Upton marker system to ribbons.
Gordy Long, it's your final game tonight as a player and a coach with Sharlston after long and illustrious service with them. What a way to finish.
Yeah, all I wanted really was to win. You know, we've been working hard all year, and lads have done me proud tonight, and I've gone out on top, so I've really enjoyed my time there, and best luck for them for next year.
And a man of the match performance tonight, Gordy. How did you see the game going?
Well, from start, you know, it was rough and tumble. It was a really tough game. We lost a man, silly thing really, after 10-15 minutes, and you know, lads just dug deep, and it was just it wasn't a classic, but it was a win what we came for, and that's what we're proud of.
Yeah, it was a bit of a war of attrition at times out there, weren't it?
Yeah, it was good. That's how I like it, to be honest, and they rose to it, and you know, fair play to Upton. They gave us a good shot, but we just stuck in there and got the win what we really wanted.
I think it's fair to say that Sharlston perhaps did have that little bit extra class.
Well, we have done, but we've struggled with injuries all year, and like tonight, we've probably had 6 or 7 players missing from start of season, but the squad's come good, and we've had 2 good wins. You know, we just got pipped at Drig where I honestly thought we should have won, and I think quite a few neutrals thought we should have won league, but it wasn't to be. So hopefully we can get that league title next year, and we'll come back and get these again.
So you'll be having a few drinks tonight, Gordy, to celebrate?
Oh yeah, I always do anyway, so we'll definitely be having a few tonight.
Well, I think it's fair to say, Gordy, on behalf of everybody at Sharlston, a big thank you to everything that you've done for the club. You've been a credit to Sharlston, and it'll be sad to see you go.
Well, I'm not exactly going far. I'll still be there every week watching them and having a drink with them, and I just hope they can get stronger and stronger and keep up there like they should be.